I told my wife, 26F, that our baby is mine and that I, 25F, did not consider her the other parent. But I don't know if that was a good call. Hi. This is my first post here. I'm here to talk about an issue I do not know how to navigate. I want to start off by saying that my wife and I are WLW, and have been married for 4 years, together for 6. Our relationship was perfect, or as perfect as relationships can be. We are fine financially, which in this economy feels like a blessing, have a decent house, and have work schedules that align with each other, and yes, we were incredibly affectionate towards each other. So, around 6 months ago, we went through with IVF, and I am currently carrying our daughter. But, around the same time, my wife got a promotion at the company we both worked for, and it consumed her life. I'm not being dramatic, I understand the stress of a new position, and I did my best at home to make sure she would come home to a nice house, home-cooked dinners and lunches to take to work, but nothing has seemed good enough. I noticed around a month into her new position, she was coming home later and later, often staying well past dinner time, so I would work my schedule around her in that regard so that she would always have a meal to come home to, but it felt like she stopped seeing me. Her entire life has been consumed by her work, and I'm worried. I know this behavior isn't healthy. It's been 6 months since she received her new position, and things have gotten so bad that I feel like a shadow in my own home. To make matters worse, I've been struggling with the pregnancy, yet she doesn't seem to care. I try to talk to her, ask her about her day, and I met with dry answers, or some nights she's home well into the evening when I'm already asleep, so we don't talk at all. I feel discarded. It's weird to miss someone with whom you still share a bed with. Now to the issue at hand. Yesterday when she came home from work at 11 p.m., yes, 11 p.m. She caught me upstairs crying because 1, I'm pregnant, and 2, it feels like my wife hates me. She just stared at me blankly, then asked why I was crying. And I lost it. I spilled everything. I told her how her negligence was making me feel. I didn't yell, just cried while she stood awkwardly in the doorway. She responded by saying I was being ungrateful because she was providing for our family and our daughter, and in the heat of the moment, I told her that the baby was my daughter, not hers, as she had not been involved in the entire pregnancy. She never went to any appointments past the IVF ones, skipped our small gender reveal, and hasn't even tried being there for me while I'm slowly getting sicker by the day. So this reaction felt justified. I was not trying to be ungrateful, I just feel so unloved, unattractive and like I'm not doing enough to win her attention. I am grateful that she works so hard. I just miss her so much. I don't think we've even kissed in weeks. She left the room without another word, and I can't help but feel like I've messed everything up. All I wanted was my wife to come home, not this hollow workaholic she has turned into. She left for work early this morning, hasn't called or texted, and to be honest, I'm scared that anything I say will make things worse. I don't want to divorce her, but I can't imagine raising a child with this woman anymore. I know posting here probably isn't a good call, I'm just so tired, and my therapist has no openings for another week. I'm not angry, I'm worried that she is falling down a path that I cannot help her with. Please give any advice you can. I want to be seen again. For a bit more context, I don't think she is cheating. I did make the horrible mistake of looking through her phone, and nothing is incriminating. Yes, I have tried talking to her many times, I've texted paragraphs after paragraphs, and she has said she is sorry, and does try a bit more for a few days, but then falls back into her schedule. Quickly adding something, as I realized I forgot to add a tiny bit of context. The child has no genetic ties to me. I am carrying her egg. We decided this was the most viable option for us, as then we are both included in the process. By me saying you are not this child's parent, I did not mean it because of genetic ties, I meant it because she has not shown up for us. And yes, I regret saying it. Update. Hello, quickly writing an update while my wife is in the shower. I wasn't sure where to leave an update. I wanted to add a few more things, addressing a few of the comments I have received. First of all, more context on my comment. No, I was not saying that she was not the biological parent. I was saying she was not stepping up as a parent. There's a difference in this matter. I am unsure whether going to Reddit was actually a good call. The amount of homophobic remarks I got, which, mind you, were completely unrelated to this topic, was unfathomable. Though I got a giggle out of one comment saying, "Why did you choose to marry a woman?" To which I replied, "Women are hot." Need I say more? I was also baffled. Almost every comment pointed out the fact that this is a WLW relationship. Yes, I understand because the variables change, but some comments just felt like they were mentioning it to mention it. Anyways, thank you for all the advice. I had pre-written a script to say to my wife when I got home so that I didn't say anything wrong or leave anything out. My wife came home early, which was surprising, but I was caught off guard. She beat me to the "we need to talk" declaration, and we sat down in our bedroom. I spoke first, using advice from the comments. I told her I was sorry and that the comments I said were immature, and I explained that I felt like I was alone in this ordeal and that all I wanted was to feel loved again, and that I was worried things would remain like this after our daughter is born. I talked to her about her workload and how I was worried that maybe this was becoming a much larger issue for her mentally. She was silent for a long moment after I spoke, before explaining that the reason she walked out after my comment wasn't because she was angry. Yes, she said the comment stung, but she explained how it was like a wake-up call in her head. Some of you were right, but some of you were oh so wrong. In her head, the promotion she received mattered a lot to her socially. She was expected to take it when she actually was comfortable in her old position. Saying no could have impacted her greatly and possibly put a dent in her relationships with her bosses. And that was when she tried to say, "I'll need to think about this." They had already taken that as a yes, as the position was greatly needed and the company was struggling without someone in this position. The workload was so much that she was getting migraines at night, which is why she was either snappy or just didn't want to talk. By this point, she was crying. She said that she regretted everything, now seeing this in a new light. She apologized over and over, and she even told me she has delegated 50% of her workload to other people so that she can be home earlier. She has also told me she wants to look into getting a therapist to better manage her stress. Of course, I am happy with this fact. She also admitted she was worried, even opened up to me for the first time, that she was scared of being like her own parents and that she didn't want our daughter to live as she did, and with that, she subconsciously pulled away. I told her that she needed to communicate these things and that I was still upset with her lack of understanding of that fact. I feel more at ease, but I'm not completely sold, as I'm already so used to being without her that the idea of being with her feels foreign. But for now, I'm just glad she finally understands how I feel, and I finally got that kiss smile. Thank you for listening. First comment. Is it possible that her decision to take a promotion and throw herself into her work is her reaction to the stress/fear of becoming a parent? I know you say you are comfortable financially, but a child brings a whole new level of financial, and general, stress. She may be feeling a bit panicked, and this is how she is responding. I'm not saying how she is acting is good or bad. Just saying she may also be struggling, and coping in a way that makes sense to her. Regardless, it sounds like you guys need to find a way to communicate with each other and come to a shared understanding, and a path forward. Second comment. All of this, plus there's no mention of the decision on who you two both got to of who would carry the child? Was there issues with that? Was there something that made the partner just not able to carry a child? She may feel like she's let herself or you down and is putting herself into the work of trying in the only other way she can to for this child and the new situation at hand. She may feel disconnected to the pregnancy and is not sure how else she's meant to feel. Third comment. But did it actually come easy for her? You said she has a fear of childbirth. Is she in a weird way detaching from you because of this fear? Is she worried in some way what you might be going through? I definitely think reaching out to your midwife to see if there's a person that deals with this type of stuff specifically. I know usually it's a man and woman that do this dance, and obviously people always say, well, of course the man's having trouble. Has never been a woman to begin with, but I think her fear, worry and trouble understanding is just as relevant.